And we are live. I am joined by Dimitri Reeves, a Baltimore resident, musician, performance artist slash musician slash something else. We were discussing
Slash,
earlier.
slash, slash.
We need a lot of slashes to understand Dimitri's full capacity.
Oh my God, that's funny.
Anyhow, Dimitri, the whole world's looking at Baltimore right now, and some people have come across, your performance as part of that. And I know for me, I've been doing a bunch of research about, race relations in America to write my article, for which this interview is, continuing work, and it's been very depressing. And so seeing your more lighthearted approach, more hopeful approach has been very interesting. Do you want to explain to people, who you are, what you do, and how that all fits in with what's happening in Baltimore?
Well, my name is Dimitri Reeves. I've been doing this for 2.5 years. My manager is Vaughn Mason. He made the song Bounce Rock Skate Roll, which was big. He took me under his wing to try to teach me, for me to relearn my craft, the craft of music. And when he did that, he was like, "Hey, let's go out in the street." And I'm just like, "No, that's going to be stupid." And he was like, "No, let's go out in the street. It's going to be worth it." We're taking it back to the James Brown days, back in the day where they used to go out inside the street, Muddy Waters. All of them used to start out the street. So we was like, "Okay, let's do it the old way, old school way." So we went out there, we did it, we got a good reaction. And then fast forward to now, the Baltimore riots were going on, and we saw on CNN, and we're like, "Hey, we need to go out there and spread some love and some peace, to spread something that's positive instead of running around and doing stuff that wouldn't make sense, really." You know what I mean? So we were doing this for 2.5 years. I'm looking for a record deal. That's what I really am looking for. And I'm trying to get signed and trying to get myself out there more established. My songs are on Google Play and my songs are on iTunes. You can look up Dimitri Reeves on www.dimitrireeves.com. That's DIMITRIREEVES, because most people spell it with an E. And I'm like, no, that's not it. But that's what our message is. Both my parents are on dialysis as well. And when we fund into ourselves, but if we have money left over, we try to give to them as well. And we're just a positive influence that we're trying to just bring on to people, because it's like most people thought I was just trying to be out there for the spotlight or whatever. And if this was never going on, we'd have probably been out there that day, because we do this all the time. The world is just now seeing what we do.
Okay, so this is you've been on the streets of Baltimore performing like this, regardless, and the crowds have come for these protests and rallies, and
Of course.
so that's who you're performing for now. I mean, but do you feel a sense of solidarity with the protests that are happening?
Yeah. I can say that. I'm actually happy. I mean, were you? I mean, I was gonna ask a stupid question. I was gonna say, were you there Saturday? Which clearly you weren't, because you're way out. But Saturday, I think it was last Saturday. People were out there at City Hall praying. I heard they were playing music. There was a nice protest going on. It wasn't as dramatic as it was in the beginning. I think it's kind of slowing down, and kind of everybody feels good now in a way. I'm kind of good and feel like they got justice in a way.
What do you think brought that on? Was there a decision in particular that caused that?
They indicted the cops.
Yeah. So that was at that moment there was a tangible sense of victory on the streets.
Oh yeah, people were happy. I mean, actually that day, we were just riding around. And we saw on the TV, everybody was honking the horns, screaming, yelling, like it felt good. So I was like, wow, Baltimore, to see a lot of people come together and be happy, and the smile. I just love seeing the smiles on people's faces. Like they just were so happy to see what I saw Monday, and then to see that happening, all of a sudden people happy and everything. It's a big transformation, and it's a big it really touched my heart. I really liked it.
Okay. And so you like some people have talked about this being a fairly hopeful moment, but a lot of people are obviously very angry and very upset about the death of Freddie Gray and police brutality more generally. Has there been any tension between the sort of upbeat nature of your act and those sort of background feelings?
when I perform, I feel I mean when I perform, when I go out on the streets now, there's people. It's not that many. I mean, everything feel like everything has pulled back because it's not. It's everybody's more like laid back and relaxed. I feel where we perform at, everybody's more laid back, relaxed, and they feel more happier and everything. Everybody's having a good time and everything. So
Can you
I
talk,
mean,
talk a little bit about what it was like at the beginning? What happened? When did you hear
oh,
about
in the
Freddie
beginning, oh my
Gray?
gosh, I mean.
How did you hear about Freddie Gray? And then what happened next?
Okay, well, I'm sitting here. I'm laying. I'm at the dentist. My manager's cousin's dentist. He's a dentist, so we're doing dental work on my teeth. And we see on CNN like, oh wow, this is really going on because we saw places like where we perform at all the time. We're like, whoa, this is really happening. Like I normally see this stuff on TV, movies, over. And when I saw Ferguson, I was like, oh okay, when it's in your backyard, it's a whole nother experience. And when we went out there, I was right on my left side. There was a whole bunch of cops, and there was the riot team. On my right side, there was a CVS burning. So we just said, well, let's just set up right here and perform. And we had a sound system and everything. Most people think I just went out in the street and just started moonwalking backwards and just out of nowhere. And no, I was performing. And we did Will You Be There, Heal the World, You're Not Alone. And protesters came up and looters came up and they said, keep on going. They cheered me on. They said, yeah, we need this. They weren't like, oh, get down from there. Oh, you're doing too much. Blah, blah. No, they loved it. They were like, oh, yeah, do more, do more. They asked for more and everything.
Fantastic. So, and then, so how many days would you say, how many days did, when did the mood turn? You described it as sort of an angry mood originally and then a more vibrant mood. Like, was it continuously angry just up till the indictment and then that
Right.
basically calmed people down? Or the indictment, sorry.
No, you're fine. After the indictment, that seemed like it brought a little bit of peace. People seem when I walk the streets, everything. People seem more lighthearted. They're not so like they seem like okay, yeah, we got just because they feel like we got justice. We got okay now. Somebody's gonna pay for something that we feel was wrongfully done.
Yeah. What do you think about the there's a comparison that I've been noting in a lot of my interviews, like that I've been pointing out in my interviews and seeing what people think about it. There was a kid who smashed a cop car, and it's quite a big story now. His parents told him to go turn himself in, and he's been for vandalism, and he's been set a higher bail than the cops accused of killing Freddie Gray. And people are worried that he'll end up actually doing more time. Are you familiar with the case I'm talking about?
I'm sorry, I'm not familiar with that. Actually,
sorry about it. Then I won't put you on the spot to have an opinion about it. Having that heard, it's fine. Look, the media in general, of course, is focused on Baltimore.
Yes.
To what extent do you think that focus is actually and there's been a lot of condemnation of vandalism and violence
Right.
by protesters. Some people think that's unbalanced and that there should be more of a focus on the police brutality, which caused the problem in the first place. But, what do you think about the coverage of this sort of positive side of the protests? You talked about music and prayer and all, and this sort of positive, creative stuff happening at the protests. Yes. Do you think that's getting its fair share of coverage in the national media?
I don't think so. Let's be honest. If the news covered good things all the time, then they would go out of business. So it's like personally I feel that they should cover more of the the more people, the positive things, a little bit more of that. Because right now that all that's floating around the internet, people think Baltimore is like a war zone. Like as soon as you walk outside, it's like Baghdad or something. It's not like that. Baltimore is a good place. There are good people here. They're just angry and bored. I mean, oh my gosh. So it's like people they misconstrue that into something else. Like, oh, this is just a thug place, and this is just a place where you can get shot at, blah blah, and we're just gonna all this crazy stuff I saw online, and everything.
I think a big part of that comes back to the television show The Wire, which is, basically everything I knew about Baltimore before the story happened came for me. And I think a lot of other people around the world came from the TV show The Wire. And David Simon's been making various, comments about the protests. Are you know, he's the creator of The Wire. Have you followed any of them?
No, I have not followed them. I
That's
apologize.
fine. That's fine. It's just something I talked about with my other interviewees, so I thought I'd see if you had an opinion on it. Look, what's if there was apart from, you know, check out your website and so forth, which will definitely give you a chance to make sure everyone knows where to find you online after this. What would be, you know, your main message for people who've been seeing this unfold from abroad? Like, what do we, and you've seen the international coverage, you've seen the mainstream media's coverage, which we're seeing. So what are we missing? What's not being told to us?
I feel like we need to think and vote. I just feel like, you know, people, you elect people who can do something for the community. That's why we don't realize how young we are. We don't realize how much power we have with voting. I want people to think as well, because you got to think. Because just say we're in a boxing match and, you know, we're boxing and I give you a good lick and then now you're mad. Now you're just swinging. You're not thinking. The technique that we put in, the work that we put in has went out the window because now you're just swinging out of anger. So you're not thinking. Now I'm going to win the fight because you're not thinking. I'm not mad. So I feel like that's what we're doing as a people right now. So I think that if everybody, that my message to everybody is just to think and vote. And Baltimore's not a bad place at all. You guys should come visit sometime.
Okay, that's nice. I noticed on your Instagram that you'd actually raised some money and passed some of that on. Be great.
Oh yeah, we went out on the street, did a fundraiser for Freddie Gray, and people came by, donated, and then we gave that money to his family. There's that. So that's what I wanted to address too. If I'm so looking for that spotlight in my, because I've seen a lot of comments. I wanted to address those comments real quick. That I'm looking for that 5 minutes of fame. No, I'm looking for a lifetime of fame, to be exact. And we just trying to give Freddie Gray's family we gave the money because we felt like, okay, let's do something, because we do this on the street all the time and raise money for ourselves. So let's donate our time and our money to them, because I feel like they needed that. Yeah.
And it was a lovely photo I saw of you with the family. They seem like very sweet people. You know, you've had just to be clear, like the main thing, you know, what you've been famous for is moonwalking in front of lines of cops, right? But like you've got a career in music, you've had a career in music outside and beyond, you know, tribute art. What your work is a tribute. Yeah?
Oh yeah, people think I'm just a Michael Jackson tribute artist. No, I have my own songs. Don't Matter Tonight, Stomp. A lot of songs. Stomp is a justice song for the injustice. It's a really positive song. You can find that on SoundCloud, iTunes, Google Play, DimitriReeves.com. Look anywhere you can find it. Amazon, anywhere.
Okay, great. I think we'll wrap it up there, unless there's anything else you feel like you really want to talk about that I've left out. If there's something you think I should have brought up.
No. I think that you covered everything. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much for your time. Have a good day.
You too. God bless.